So, if all insects on Earth disappeared, within 50 years, all life on Earth would end. If all human beings disappeared from the Earth, within 50 years, all life forms would flourish. Hello, my name is Anvay Gokte from Sarvankash Vidya Mandir, Ratnagiri. To begin with, this is the first episode of the What If series, and I'm here to host a discussion on the topic: what if all the bees get extinct from the planet? And it's the best time to discuss it as yesterday was World Environment Day. And interestingly, the theme of the World Environment Day 2020 is Time for Nature, with a focus on its role providing the essential infrastructure that supports life on Earth and human development. The year 2020 has been like a reminder to all of us on the threats that we pose to the environment, and nature, using all its means, is now trying to give us everything back. And we need to begin somewhere. So, here we are all set to discuss and understand the impact of bees, as it is believed that the day the last bee dies, man would have only 4 years to live. Here's a video from the FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, that was especially created for World Bee Day 2020. To add a little bit of information, the World Bee Day is celebrated on 20th May every year. This video is like a trailer of what the entire discussion is going to be all about. So, without much delay, I would like to welcome our principal, Ms. Monica Jaiswal, our academic head, Ms. Kajal Sippi, and our teachers and my very own friends who are the participants for today's discussion. So, let me introduce you all to our guest speaker today. We have Mr. Deepak Baghel with us today. Hello, sir. Mr. Deepak is a graduate in metallurgy, material science, and entrepreneurship from IIT Bombay. He is the founder CEO of Honey Bee Web and Mielo Honey. He is the first IITian apiarist of India. He presently owns a beekeeping farm in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. He is passionate to educate people to understand the importance of bees in our lives and our environment. We welcome you, sir. Before we begin, I would like to tell the participants if they have any questions that they would like to ask Mr. Deepak, they can type it in the chat box. And later, if time permits, we will ask this question on this platform. Or if we are not that lucky, we will certainly email them to sir. Wonderful. Now, to begin, sir, we would like to know the moment you became passionate about bees.
So please unmute yourself.
Sir, sir, you are muted. So please unmute.
No, sir, not audible.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Sweet.
Hello.
Yes, audible
Hello.
now. Audible
Okay,
now.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. So, can you repeat the question, Veva?
So, sir, we would like to know the moment you became passionate about bees.
Okay. After graduating from IIT Bombay, I came to my hometown, and where I started the bee farming, where I started doing organic farming. So when I was doing organic farming, because if you want to solve any problem, first you have to go through the pipeline, then you know where is the hole. So you have to do farming, then you know what is the problem farmers are facing in India. So I thought it will be better to become a farmer, then I will easily understand the problems of farmer. So I start doing farming. Then after some time, I realized there are some flower dropping problem in a cotton crop. Cotton is the main cash crop in Madhya Pradesh. So we call it a white gold. So when I was growing non-BT cotton in my hometown, so I had seen that some flowers are dropping. So I thought, what's the problem? My flowers are blooming, but not converting into fruit. Then I do some research regarding that. Then I realized that there is a pollination process. When a bee go collect pollen from the male flower to female flower, then it become it's process called the pollination. Okay. So we don't have bees that much because previous time there are lots of wild bees available in the forest. But right now we are using too many pesticides in our farms. So very less bees are available. So that's why in India, few farmers started beekeeping from 1991. First time Sardarji brings few boxes from the Italy to India in 1991. Then farmers start beekeeping. So then I realized, then I talked to some beekeepers from UP and Bihar. Then they taught me how to do beekeeping. Then I realized, okay, then I first time introduced to beekeeping. Okay, there is the problem and here is the solution. After doing my research, then I realized there are only 50 to 100 graduated beekeepers are available in India out of 135 crore population. Because there is no university teaching about the beekeeping. It's a kind of small activity at the farm. So no any university in India is fully teaching the beekeeping course because we don't have any data about our crop, our forest, our crop, trees, our native plants. So just like example, even right now I want to do some research about how many trees and forests are available, what is the flower timing of the forest and the tree and the flora fauna of Madhya Pradesh or Indore area. So I don't have any exact data. So I could not predict how much honey I'm going to produce, how much bees going to survive here. So this is the problem. Then I realized I have to go into beekeeping industry. So that time I was become passionate about beekeeping. Because at the end my motive was to save the environment and spread the organic farming throughout the India. So whenever you keep the beehive at the farm, you have to stop the spray of insecticide. You cannot spray any insecticide because bee is also insect, so it will die. Okay, so unconditionally, all farmers become organic farmers. That is the thing.
Wow. Okay. So, Kirti, you also had a little bit of curiosity about bees. I think you should ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, Anwar. My question for sir is, do bees eat anything else than nectar? And if yes, what do they eat?
Bees use too many things to eat, like a nectar. First thing is nectar. They digest the nectar and convert into honey. And second thing, it extracts something from the tree. We call it propolis. Propolis is like a bee glue. Matlab, bee use that glue to stick their frames. And propolis is also one of the best medicine available. Propolis is a herbal thing. So bee also uses as an antiseptic for bees. So bee cure their health and everything is recovered. We even propolis is used in our toothpaste. It's a very main ingredient in all our toothpaste. It's a compulsory. So honeybees eat nectar from anything like watermelon, banana, wherever honeybee get the nectar is a sweet thing. Apart anything like a papita tree, everywhere. So it will suck the nectar. So honeybee can eat anything sweet available at the 3 kilometer radius.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hmm.
So, sir, what were the disasters or challenges that you had faced while you rescued bees?
Okay, the first thing is that nobody knows how to do organic farming because after the green revolution, every farmer is addicted to do 2 to 3 crops a year, 2 to 3 crops per year. So they spray lots of insecticides to reduce the investment kind of. They don't need to invest on labor. They want to just spray one thing and all the insects will die. So they how take care of the weeds at the farm. So they unconsciously spraying the harmful insecticide at their farm. So it's really not possible to survive bee at or that chemical farm. So we need to first spread the awareness about the bees because it's a live insect. So my challenge was that I could not convince lots of farmers to not spray insecticide because they are addicted to it. They have no any alternative solution for any other insect coming on the farm. So that is the worst challenge I have faced.
Oh. So what are the threats to the bees?
It's like a hornet. I think right now currently the most harmful thing is hornet. It's a cousin species of bees. I think you have heard about yellow jacket, hornet, and we call in the local language tiddy. टिड्डी भी आते हैं अपना और लोकल लैंग्वेज में तीतर कहते हैं मोस्टली जो बी कीपर्स हैं दे आर मोस्टली अनएजुकेटेड दे कॉल इट तीतर ये आपको हर जगह मिलते हैं नियर द हिल साइड एरिया लाइक एनी पचमढ़ी पातालकोट एरिया where is lots of rock bees are available. There they form the nest. It's 2 to 3 times of the honeybees. They eat the honeybees. Whenever you keep the boxes near a hillside, all the hornets will come because of the fragrance of the honey. They follow the fragrance of honey and they attack on the beehive and eat all the honeybees within 1 or 2 days. They will finish all our 100 boxes. So only solution for that thing is we have to migrate from that place to somewhere else, 10 to 15 kilometers away from that place, because we cannot fight those hornets. Very harmful and very poisonous as well.
Oh, okay. Ishita, even you had some research. Would you mind sharing it?
Yes. A Swiss scientist had conducted a study that all cell phone signals can cause bees to make extra noise, which acts like a signal to leave the room. And cell phones act as a barrier keeping bees from returning. So, the human population is surely to blame for the loss of habitat of the bees. My question to you, sir, is the lifespan of bees is around 122 to 152 days. Has the lifespan of bees deteriorated over the years due to the human hindrance with nature?
Okay. Rema, can you repeat the question? It's a network problem, I think. I couldn't hear it properly.
Okay. Has the lifespan of bees deteriorated over the years due to the human hindrance with the nature?
Okay. So lifespan of a bees is from 30 to 60 days exactly, because we had seen that there are only 25 to 30 days left for the collecting the nectar. First 3 days, the honeybees will clean the beehive. I think you had some seen the pictures. So whenever a bee is born, first it learns how to clean the beehive. Then after fourth day, it start cleaning the other bees which are collecting nectar. They will clean the other bees, and after that they will do some gardening for next 5 to 6 days. Parallelly, they are growing. So after that, they are start digesting nectar into honey. So they are one small bee in a lifespan do around 6 to 8 other different jobs throughout their lifespan. After the 25th day, they start going outside to collect the nectar. Okay, this is the lifespan how a bee will do. And only the queen bee which lives for 3 to 5 years, because it eat royal jelly. Royal jelly is a superfood. It's the most fertile thing available in the world. You just imagine that a normal bee is eating only honey. It will survive for 30 to 60 days. Lekin the same larva, when other bees will feed same royal jelly to same larva to royal jelly, they will live for 3 to 5 years. So you know how it is the royal jelly is so much powerful. It's used for fertility, and one queen bee can give 2 to 2,000 eggs in a day. So mortality rate is less, and production rate is too much in a beehive. So it can survive for n number of years if you keep providing the best environment available and maximum flora fauna. So any beehive can survive for n number of years.
Thank you, sir.
Maitri, you also had a question on it.
Yes. Researchers from the University of Maryland reported this week that about 40% of the US honeybees colonies have died between October 2018 to April 2019.
Okay, so it started from 2006. Actually, there was a very disaster year in beekeeper industry. Suddenly, there 50% of beehives suddenly collapsed. Suddenly, bees are disappearing from the beehive. Lots of scientists had done research on the beekeeping. So what happened? No dead bees, no bees are available around that. Thousands of beehives suddenly become empty. Maybe bees are migrating from somewhere or whatever happened, but that year 50% of the US beehives are vanished and or dead or whatever you call. So no one knows the reason behind that. Maybe the neonicotine is an insecticide which is very harmful for the bees, which is most of the maize and the wheat farmers are spraying for the thousands of hectares. Because in US you have seen one farmer can do thousands of hectares of farming. So they spray neonicotine in a bulk with the aeroplane. So it's spreading all over the maize farm. So the major issue is that in US, most of the farmers do monocrop. Monocrop is like doing only maize crop or wheat crop for thousands of hectares. So there will be a malnutrition problem in the bee. It's just like you can imagine that you are eating only chapati for the next 2 years. So you will get the malnutrition problem. The same thing happened with the bees. Bees are only eating the maize pollen, so they become malnutrition and maybe sick or fever. But the colony collapse starts from 2006 to 2009. Even last year, we have 50% colonies are dead because of colony collapse disorder. So it keep happening in US. At least US has some data. India has no data right now. If you talk about India, how many colony we have died because of colony collapse disorder? So we have no data. No one knows how many beehives are available in Madhya Pradesh, in Maharashtra, because no any university is doing the right research on the beekeeping. So we have to face this problem. That's why I came into this industry. Someone has to take the step ahead. because this is the most important thing, because 70% crop is depend on the pollination. Like if bees will die, all the coffee, apple, everything gone. Only the self-pollination crop will left, like wheat and rice and paddy kind of. They are self-pollination crop. They do pollination through wind. So only the maize will left. So that is the problem, I think.
So what do you think? How much more time these bees will survive on this planet?
I think it will take. I couldn't say anything because these are like natural thing. They are 50% error every time. Whenever I start any project in Madhya Pradesh, in Indore, Bhopal, or Mumbai, in Lonavala, anywhere, I couldn't say the flora fauna. Suddenly the cyclone, the locust attack, there are lots of parameters which affect the honeybees. Even sometimes heavy rain, unconditionally rain, the flower is blooming and suddenly rain comes. Then no pollen available for next 3 days, and sometimes there's no flowers available in summer season. Summer season is our off season. That time we have to feed our honeybees to survive. So we give them a 50% ratio of sugar syrup. Well, 50% sugar and 50% water to honeybees. Like gulab jamun ki chasni is like syrup, corn syrup. So it is necessary any beekeeper to survive their bees. So we have to feed it during the off season only. Off season.
Okay, so Adya, you also had a question.
Yes, sir, we know that if a species is gone, it's gone forever. And this statement has hit me very hard. What are the challenges that beekeeping as an industry is facing?
Beekeeping industry is facing in India, the worst thing is that we don't have any university who's leading in beekeeping industry. There are only 50 to 100 beekeepers, graduated beekeepers are available. Why always I'm mentioning the graduated? Because we carry the data, we document it and pass to the next generation. For most 95% beekeepers are tribal. They live in a forest. They are not graduated. They don't know how to write, how to do calculation. So they have the knowledge inside their mind and they die. They couldn't pass the knowledge. So we need few universities to step up and do some research on beekeeping and invest, because this is the major thing. We could not survive without honeybees. As we are facing that lots of our special varieties of mirchi, cotton, they are extincting from our native place. We cannot grow our lychee, mirchi and anything. So we have some university to do some research like IIT and IIM. They have to put some demo beehive at all public places like railway station, some garden without bees. I think once people will see the beehive, they will ask the question. Once you have the question, then I will give you the answer. Right now, 90% people don't know where honey came from. I will ask anybody from the local estate or anywhere in mall. They will say honey will drip from the tree. They don't know who produced honey and how many varieties of honey. So lack of information is the worst thing we are facing. So first, we need to spread the awareness about beekeeping. What is beehive? What is beehive looks like? So we have to place demo beehives at railway station, garden, and everywhere. In every school, it will be compulsory. At least demonstrate. Without bees is okay. At least you have seen the box. I mean, right now, 50% people haven't seen the beehive. That is the problem we are facing. And whenever we try to explain, this is the honey cost, this is the manufacturing cost, this is the landing cost we are facing. All beekeepers are living in a forest. They cannot travel from one forest to the nearest city. It's too expensive thing. And we have to migrate from district to district. Like we have to go to UP for lychee honey. After that, we have to go to Mathura for jamun honey. After that, we have to go to Rajasthan to take the cedar honey. So we have to migrate throughout the year. We have crop cycle available. So this is thing we are facing right now.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Karthik, you also had a query yesterday.
Yes, sir. My question to you is that if honeybees go extinct, there are other pollinating species of insects and birds. Can't they take the place of honeybees?
No, honeybees are the professional. It's like a butterfly. Butterfly only do pollination for 10 to 15 flowers. They will their stomach will full. Then butterfly will go to their home and sit down. But honeybees will do to collect honey for the winter, for their off season. So honey will do from the morning 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. till night. The whole day is that's why we call it busy bee. They collect honey. They will do as much work as possible. But other insects will eat and sleep. They won't do. They won't collect it for their winter. Like a locust and other plants do pollinate, like butterfly, insect, our ants, or the other species do for their just feed and sleep. But honeybee is the only professional who is doing pollination for the throughout the day, and in night they digest the honey and digest the nectar and convert into honey. The whole day honeybees don't sleep. That's why we call it busy bee. They always work from day one to till death.
Thank you, sir.
Dia, you also had a question.
Yes. So, my question to you is, with a lot of efforts being put and taken around to save honeybees, are we seeing any recovery in the number of bees or bee colony?
No, there's no recovering. We are just trying to survive. Most of the beekeeper are doing just cost to cost profit. No, they are not making too much profit. So the farmers are leaving this industry, and no any graduate want to do any beekeeping work, because for beekeeping you have to stay at the farm. Just like any IIT IIM people, they want just white collar job. White collar job is like you have a laptop inside a 10 by 10 office room, AC and everything. But for beekeeping, you have to stay inside the forest. There's no electricity, no internet, no any facilities available. Okay, and you have to migrate the boxes from one forest to another forest, because the flower farming is totally different in different location. First, you have to go to the lychee orchid, then you have to go to jamun orchid, then you have to go to cedar orchid, then you go to eucalyptus orchid. So you have to migrate throughout the year. It takes lots of money, lots of time, and you have to face lots of parameters like locust attack. Locust attack won't affect the bees, but they will eat all the food available in that area. So honeybee will won't eat anything, and honeybee will die after some time. So that is the issue.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir. I have a question for you. How do we as kids also take up the responsibility of saving and taking care of biodiversity?
Okay, you should have to plant trees, native plants, not the alien trees kind of. Alien trees like planting any plant from the Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh or Gujarat to Maharashtra, because the alien plants will grow, but the alien plant will affect the other your native plants. They will start extincting. So that is not the good way, I think. Yesterday I was listening the horticulture director, ma'am is teaching us, telling about the biodiversity. So they are promoting we have to plant most of the native plants. Once the native plants will come, they will grow, then honeybees will automatically grow and live there. The only way is the plant trees like jamun, but mostly fruit plants. Fruit, because most of the people will grow Ashok tree is a useless tree, I think. It just looks like a tar ka jhar kind of bush. They won't give any fruit. So we have to grow some fruit tree. At least we can eat and monkeys will eat and the gillaris will take the fruit and seed and hide it somewhere in the forest. Gillari are the best plant a plantation machine, I think. They plant most of the seeds. So we have to plant some native things, native plants.
That's very interesting.
And second thing, I think you have to give that plant a name of your any father's or grandfather's name. So you will at least take care of that plant for the n number of years. That is my grandfather, and I'm planting this neem, people, and bubble tree combination, and I will take care of that plant for the n number of years. And just name that plant and talk to them and just share your story with your children there. This is your grandfather is living here, kind of just anything. So we can connect with the tree.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That's very
Hmm.
interesting. It is often said, while the little things are often easy to overlook, their impact is hard
Hmm.
to ignore. Sir, we
Hmm.
would like to know what has been the impact of COVID-19 on bees and beekeeping.
The main issue is the lockdown. We cannot travel. Just like I have a bee farm near Indore, is a 30 kilometer from my office. So I could not travel there. Police, there is a curfew actually in Indore, so we could not travel. So we could not take care of the bees. We cannot check there is a honey or not. So we could not feed the honey during the summer season. That's why we lost some colonies between that. The loss of and second thing is we cannot migrate. Everywhere is a barricade, police barricade, and police don't understand about the beekeeping. They will stop your truck and they will ask for bribe. Okay, and the second thing is that we have to migrate in night. We cannot travel in daytime because we must have to go outside to collect the water and the nectar and everything. But in night they stay inside the box. So that time we have to travel from one place to another place, and between that, most of the police barricade and the police choki guy stop the truck, and they will ask for the bribe. And that time at 2 p.m. or 3 a.m. in the night, we cannot call for any help. That is the because that Thanedar don't know about the beat. They know give me the money, then I will release you. So that is the thing we are facing right now.
Oh, that's very sad. Yeah.
Hmm.
COVID-19 has surely given us humans an opportunity to rediscover our love for nature, and a lot of people can be seen re engaging with nature, rekindling their relationship with nature, and now we are noticing what we had not been noticing before. So, before we close this session, we would like to hear a few more words from you, sir, on aspects we may not have covered.
Okay, so I would like to tell all of you guys to at least visit a organic farm because that time you realize how a seed will grow from a tiny seed into plant and how flower bloom. And maybe possible you have to see all the activities like poultry, goatry, fishery, how they are going to help the farmer because it's all a comprehensive project. If you want to do farming, you have to do all the other activities. Farmer have to become the expert in all 26 activities, kind of 26 to 30 activities like poultry, goatry, everything, beekeeping. After that, you will become a successful farmer, which is not possible because not a single person can be expert in goatry, pottery, beekeeping, and organic farming, vegetable farming, regular crop. But we have to come together and we have to make a model farm house. And every student should have to visit how a wheat crop will look like, how tomato seed is look like. So that is the thing. So every student must have to visit farm at least once in a month.
Thanks for your special note, sir. To end this lovely, inspiring, and informative session, I have an open question for all. The participants are requested to tell their favorite honey dish in the chat box, and we would hear the answer loud from our guest today and our loving and caring principal and our ever supportive academic head. So, tell us your favorite honey recipe. Mr. Deepak, would you please tell us your favorite honey recipe?
I would like to eat honey on chapati. It's like a mostly people use jam and butter, but when I was in hurry, I use honey as a jam and roll it and eat it. It's the best thing ever. And every morning, lukewarm water, honey after waking up and before night. That is the best thing. And you will lose weight after some time. Because I lost 12 kg weight in last 2 months. So I think it works.
Wow, and that sounds very delicious.
Hmm.
So, Miss Monica, what is your favorite honey dish?
Honey dish is honey chili potatoes. Whenever I go to hotel, I like relishing that. But otherwise, as what Deepak said, from childhood, when we used to have honey, we always applied it on roti, roll it and eat it. And sometimes now also, I put honey in my lukewarm milk along with turmeric. And it has a lot of anti properties also. So again, if you want to stay away from corona, I think that is best. Have a lukewarm glass of milk at night with turmeric, salt, which is dry ginger powder, and honey in it. It is really very, very good for your health.
I'm very
And I like to lick it with my finger also at times, like children. Yes.
No, that's really great. Because
Yes.
it affects your throat infection and any sore
Yes.
happening in your throat. It will be clear.
Yes.
I'm very tempted to try that.
Give it a
Do
try.
Yes.
You will love it.
So, Kajal ma'am, I'm eager to know your favorite honey recipe.
My favorite honey dish. Yes, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's roti and honey from childhood. We have grown up on such things.
That is the most delicious thing because
Yes.
sometimes we use ghee and sakkar, and
Yes.
roti,
Yes.
and then we replace sugar with honey. That's it.
Absolutely. So it's either good roti or honey roti. Yes.
Yes.
That would be very delicious. Yeah. So let's see the favorite honey recipes from our other participants. So, okay. So honey and roti, yes. Pancakes with honey.
Yes, pancakes are more delicious.
Yeah. Curd, cut fruit, and honey.
Yes, fruit salad with honey.
Yeah. Hot water with honey.
Lukewarm, not hot,
Okay. Yeah.
because we cannot heat honey more than 70 degrees. It will become nectar again. So we should not have to heat or boil honey.
Oh, okay. Fruits and honey. Yes. Okay. Honey chili potatoes. Okay. Banana milkshake with honey.
Yes, you can use honey everywhere where you can replace sugar with honey,
Yeah.
but you could not like it with yogurt, मतलब curd. दही के साथ अच्छा नहीं लगता नहीं उसमें शक्कर डालनी पड़ती है. So they are something which we cannot replace.
So let's see some of the questions by our participants. So why do bees die after stinging?
Because its sting was attached to their intestine. Whenever bees sting, the sting will attach with the intestine, then it will break the intestine. The all intestine will came out from the bee. bee, then it will die within 4 to 5 minutes.
Thank you.
And actually, there are 4 to 5 varieties of bees. So we are working on Apis mellifera. It's a commercial bee. It's a friendly bee. It won't attack. It's not aggressive. It's like have you seen the wild honey? They will attack you with the colony. They all 2,000 or 10,000 bees will attack you. But when you are working on a bee apiary with the Apis mellifera, their only guard bees will attack you. There will be mostly 2 or 10 bees will attack you. Okay, and they will sting you for 2 times. 1 or 2 times they will leave their sting, and bee venom is very healthy for you, healthy for your body. There is a bee venom therapy available in Japan. They will cure the paralysis with the bee venom, because whenever bees sting, you get a very, very intense shock during that time. So for paralysis person, they will active their neurons. They will start moving their hands. So it is very good. It's like a acupressure therapy with bee venom.
Oh, so thank you. So are honeybees essential for the environment?
Yes, it is must.
Yeah.
And we have to save it.
Yeah. So, what is the difference between nectar and honey?
Nectar is a thing which is produced by the flower. Then honey will digest it. First, honey will collect nectar from the flower and bring it to hive. Then it will digest, and then it will vomit, and then other bee will eat it, and then it will digest. And this process goes on for n number of bees. And after the nectar will fully digest, then they will store the honey inside the hexagonal frame. And after that, honeybee will evaporate the moisture with their wings. They will flap their wings and evaporate the moisture, and then it will be packed with the wax. They will be seal packed with the wax. So there is only less than 70% moisture available in honey. So no any will grow in the honey. That's why they are using honey as a preservative. We do coating with the honey on mummies, and honey won't expire. Even some scientists have found the honey in a mixed pyramid, and it's still edible. Honey cannot expire. After the only expire when it contains the moisture. When you leave the box open for n number of hours.
Okay. So, another question here. Some say honey never contaminates. Is it true?
Yes, honey never contaminates. If you keep it in a dry place, in a tight jar, no moisture there. So we can keep the honey for n number of years. Honey only contaminates after containing the moisture. Okay, and all honey will segregate and crystallize. Rate of crystallization of every honey is different. Like lychee honey will crystallize within 2 to 3 months, and the mustard honey will crystallize within 24 hours. Like whenever we extract the mustard honey in November and December month, the honey will be crystallized within 24 hours. It's like just ghee, or butter, peanut butter. It's just like that. So all honey will crystallize, but rate of crystallization totally different from for different honeys.
Oh, thank you. So, which is sweeter, honey or nectar?
I think honey. Nectar is like pure glucose. Whenever honey is digested, honeybees will include some minerals, potassium, sodium. All things will be available in honey, but not available in nectar. In the most of the multinational companies, they are processing the honey, like they are double heating, like boiling the water. Inside that there is another bowl. They will heat the honey to remove the moisture. And whenever you heat the honey more than 70 degrees, it will become nectar. Nectar is like pure glucose. You are eating only glucose. No minerals, no vitamins, nothing else. So we should not have to boil the honey or process honey.
Oh, so why is honeycomb hexagonal shape?
Because there is a, have you heard about the cloth packing? You will learn in a chemistry, there is a hexagonal cloth packing, cubic cloth packing. So in hexagonal shape, there's minimum void available, which is 76%, I think, FCC structure. So minimum void available, यानी उसमें जो space है minimum waste होता है kind of. So hexagonal is the best shape to store anything, because if you arrange the all circles, there is lots of hole. You are wasting some space. But hexagonal structure, you are wasting the minimum space. We call it the close pack packing. It's a 76% close. But at a circle, it's a 50%. You are wasting the 20% space. That's why honeybees are only draw hexagonal shape. Minimum space.
So thank you. And how many species of honeybees are present? So, yeah.
Sorry, I got a call. Actually, that's not disconnected. So can you repeat the question?
So how many species of honeybees are present?
There are 4 types of honeybees. First is Apis mellifera, which is commercial bee. Second is Dorsetta. Hello.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there are 4 types of honeybees. First is Apis mellifera, is a commercial bee. It lives inside the dark place. Okay. Second is Dorsetta. Dorsetta is a double size of honeybee, Apis mellifera. It lives outside places like any rock, any tree. They live in a light place. Okay. And there is a Florida, and one more species is like desi bees. Okay, wild bees. We call it a wild bee. So there are 4 types of species are available in India.
Okay.
Hmm.
So honey is also used as a medicine.
Yes.
Why?
Because there is too many properties like antibiotic, antiseptic. You can use honey after burn. You can use honey on any wound. Because even I had seen some example like yes, last time I was hearing a story. There was a horse who got a very big wound on their leg, but no any medicine can cure that wound. It is getting worse and worse by some days. So somebody said apply honey on it, because honey has 70% moisture, so no germs will grow. So that will start healing. So honey has the healing property. You can apply honey after burn, any wound on your face, your hair, and everywhere. You can honey is a superfood. You can use anywhere. Even even Indian culture, religion, we can our Shivji can take bath with the honey, water, and milk. This is a pure form. Because we call it honey a superfood, because there is no any byproduct of honey. There is no seed or any crop will come out of honey. Honey is the end product. So we can eat honey. Just like water, milk can take other things. So honey is a perfect food.
Okay, so is there an animal or insect who is scared of honeybees? Like honeybees are scared of hornets. So is there any yeah.
And they are just in Kerala, and there is a very big society in Africa. They are using honeybee as a boundary, because elephant is really scared of honeybees noise. So they take the thread and hangs up honeybees. Whenever any elephant will come there, the honey will start buzzing. Then elephant will leave away or run away from that place. So elephant won't destroy their crop. Even the same thing they are doing in Kerala. They are keeping some boxes around the railway line. So no any elephant or any big animal will come near that track. So elephant won't die because of the train accident. So there are lots of things. No one can harm honeybees. Honeybees are dangerous species. Even any cow, any milk, any dog, any animal will come near that beehive. Honey will be sting only once. They won't come again in that place. So honeybees can easily protect themselves, but hornets are little dangerous for them only.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Hmm.
Another question here. What if you get bitten by a honeybee?
Okay, whenever you sting by honeybee, you don't have to do anything. Within 3 days, that swelling will go off. But only from the Apis mellifera I'm talking about. In a wild bee, you have to take care of that because the most sensitive part in our body is our eyebrow. Because whenever any bees will sting on your face, then blood circulation will stop. That time you have to admit in the hospital for EC. So you have to just cover your face. Apart from you, anywhere you get an stung, you can easily heal. Within 2 to 3 days, there is sweet itching also happen. So just cover your face whenever anything goes on. If too many bees will sting on your face, then you have to go to hospital. Apart from that, you can just sit at your home. No need to worry. And because bee venom has a very antibiotic property, so getting a bee sting in a 1 or 2 months is good for your health. You won't get any fever or anything else going to happen with your body. So get a bee sting in every 2 months, quarterly.
Okay, so one more question here. What are all of the flavors of honey?
There are 20 to 25 flavors are available in India. So every flower has a different nectar. So there are different nectar, so different honey will be available. Like lychee honey. Lychee honey only procured during the April month. Whenever the lychee tree, lychee flower start blooming. So there is only one time we can collect lychee honey from April month. And after that we go to jamun. So only June is the only month when we collect the jamun honey. The next cycle will come after 1 year. Okay, so every flower has a different nectar. So that's how we have 20 to 25 varieties of honey available, because most of the place we have the multiflora honey. Multiflora honey means honeybees are going to collect nectar from the maize, from the lychee, from the orange orchid. We don't know where that honey came from. And whenever after tasting, we get the more than 40% property from the same flower. If we won't get the more than 40% property, then we call it a multiflora honey. It's a mixture of all flower.
Thank you, sir. So on this happy note, thank you, sir, for all of the questions, and thank you for sparing your valuable time with us. And so as soon as the lockdown ends, we plan to visit your farm, and we would love if you could pay us a visit in Ratnagiri.
Sure, I will do visit your school as soon as possible, because I have a visit in Mumbai. So after that, I will come to visit your school.
So thank you, Miss Monica and Miss Kajal, for this amazing opportunity. Thank you, teachers, and thank you, my dear participants, for being along today. So thank you for tuning in today's webinar. Tune in to watch the next webinar next week. Thank you.
Okay, Anvay, thanks a lot. I think you have been the most wonderful moderator today. I think Mr. Deepak will also agree with it.
Yes, I will pay him to teach me how to do that.
Yes, fantastic moderating by Anvay today. And Deepak, I just have one question, because a lot of students are there It's not about honey and honeybee, but it's from more from an perspective of education, where all of us are so conditioned that when we want the education of our child, we only think of my child should become a doctor or an engineer, and nowadays it has changed to an IITian. Wherein what I see nowadays, like you have done, I see many of such stories I've heard where the IITians are going back to organic farming. Okay, and you also did it. So, what is the parents' reaction? What happened for you when you chose, this unconventional field? And other than this, I mean, also about why should we think differently, and why should we not go with the rat race? That is my question to you.
The first thing which I came in my head in my second year, actually, first I came from a Hindi medium background, so there was a language barrier in IIT. So first year ACADS were not good for me. So I decided I have to do something extraordinary thing to survive, because I cannot. There in IIT you have Chandigarh topper, Bihar topper, CBSE topper, ISC board topper. So you are surrounded by the cream of India, and those people will guide you. Whenever you live with those people, you will become like those people, and you think like that you can do something great. So then I realized that India's GDP will depend on food and health industry. India's 70% GDP is depend on food. So I think food is the necessary thing. If there's less food, the price will grow up. There's too much food, we can easily sell it. So there is no problem with the food or overproduction. So food and health industry are safest industry available. Just like you had seen in COVID-19, the only agriculture and the medical industry are working. All other industries are down, like automobile and anything else. So this is very essential thing, and we cannot live with. At the end, we have to eat some good food. Why we are working so hard to earn money to get a luxury car? No, we are working very hard to eat some good food for our health. If our health is not good, how are we going to enjoy the life? We want to explore the world. So for that, just like I had read some data about that, even 95% people have a vitamin D deficiency. Why? Because everyone wants to live inside the house, work inside the AC, air conditioner office, and everywhere. They won't get the vitamin D like the sunshine. For that, you have to go to any forest. In a city, we have pollution, so we cannot get vitamin D, pure vitamin D. So there is a cholesterol problem. There is no sweating. So people are eating too many salt. Okay, but no sweating, so they will become the blood pressure patient. There is no vitamin D, so cholesterol disease. So then I realized that we have to work on health and environment, and that is my motive from the day one. I was working for the environment and as well as health. So I become a farmer. That is the best option I have left, and I don't think there is any going any recession in the agriculture field.
Yes, very true, very true.
So I think everyone should have to at least grow something for their family at least once in their life. In 2016, when I grow the beet, the tomato, the coriander, everything I grow, flaxseed, then I gave everything to my mom. My mom was happy because I earned that money. I invested my 1.5 years on organic farming through day and night. In very 45-degree temperature was in Khargone during that summer. I was working 45-degree temperature, and also the 5-degree winter I have seen. So whenever you see those peaks, ups and down in your life, then you realize, oh, this is the thing which we have to do. At least grow something for you.
Yes, so true. And Deepak, I mean, thanks a ton from all the children, all the teachers who are present here, and the entire school, because the way today, we have been really enlightened. We never thought of honey and bee with so much of detail, but today, I mean, we have really learned so many new things. And that is what I think, that education is not only sticking to textbooks. Life is out of syllabus.
Hmm.
So of course we
Exactly.
need to explore all these options in life, so that our children get, like
Hmm.
today, as an expert, you have enlightened our children, our teachers, and myself also. I've learned so many new things today. This is how I think learning happens for life, and it stays for a lifetime. Otherwise, I don't remember my algebraic expressions and formulas. Sorry, Praveen, but difficult things which if you don't use in your daily life. So it's important
Yes.
for students to connect to the actual real life things. And I think we have been very lucky that today our children got an opportunity to speak to you, listen to you, and understand that, of course, each and every small insect has a very, very important role to
Hmm.
play. Except human beings, I think everybody is
Hmm.
important on Earth. Of course, we might have
Yes.
little bit importance, but as Anvay rightly said in the beginning, that if other species extinct, I think Earth will suffer. But if humans get extinct, Earth will bloom and survive. So
Yes.
what a big shame on us as humans. But of course, we are the most evolved being also. So if we use
Hmm.
our knowledge to better our world, I think that's what is the requirement of the hour.
Yes,
And
ma'am. It's
thank
true.
you once again. And I thank all my dear children and all teachers to be present in today's session. And Anvay, once more, heartiest congratulations. I think you have really done a wonderful, wonderful job today. Shruti, Miss Shruti has worked very hard with these kids, again and again, speaking to them, making things work, and our IT team, Abhishek, also. So
Hmm.
designing all the things at the back end. Thank you, everyone. Kajal ma'am also, she's all the time available for her guidance, irrespective of any time you approach her. So with this note, I think we can say a very happy goodbye to everyone.
Yes.
And so you're in real terms a B Tech.
Yes.
Yes. BTech.
Yes, wonderful. A B Tech.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yes. BTech. BEE.
Yes. BEE.
And be positive.
Be
Be
positive.
positive. Be healthy.
Yes.
And be aware.
Be
Yes.
aware.
Be more.
Yes. Miss Kajal,
Be
would you
cool.
like to say something?
No, I
On
would
an
just
end
say
note?
thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable time and giving wonderful insights to our children. And I also thank the children for being such patient listeners. It's
Yes.
amazing how patient you were, children. I wish you were as patient in the classroom.
Yes.
So interesting, really fantastic children. I don't know at your age if we could, patiently sit and listen to somebody,
Yes. Yes.
No,
so
the
knowledgeable.
both session
But
was
I must tell you,
both.
sir, that our children really love research and they
Hmm.
really learn. They love to learn beyond the textbook. That's what I love about them.
Yes.
They are
But
excellent in all of this.
and it is the best time to throw them the problem. Once they know the
Yes,
problem, they will get the solution. The only
absolutely.
question, you have to know the problem. It takes me
Yes,
years to figure out what is the problem I'm facing and how could I
absolutely.
help the society. Because at that age, I don't know. I was playing around. I don't know what to do in life. There's nothing.
Correct.
That is the time you have to just throw the problem. They will figure out the solution. Beekeeping is not a big problem in our industry. But once the student will know, okay, there is a problem, they will start figuring out, doing research there. And till their graduation, they will come up with a great solution. And they will solve the problem.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thanks
so
a
much.
lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And Anvay,
Thank you.
great job.
Thank you,
Great
everyone.
job.
Thank you.